Hello friends, this is my worst movies of the year list. Now, there are a lot of these aren't what most people would consider the worst, because I tend to stay away from movies that are deemed to be shitty. I do see a lot of them, but if it's not playing near me, I'm probably not going to make the effort to go see it. So a lot of these aren't the conventional worst movies of the year. These are just the worst movies of the year that I saw. And yes, I am doing a best of the year list. It's just not going to be until the end of the month, because I'm still waiting so I can to be able to see Birdman, Foxcatcher, and American Sniper, and really looking forward to them. So I just want to wait until I've seen them. So my list is complete. Anyway, without further ado, let's get on to this list. I have 3 honourable mentions. 1, Dracula Untold. This movie wasn't terrible, but it was just so dull, and just a complete wasted potential of Luke Evans, and just what you really could have done with the character and the story. It was just felt like a dull waste. Another honourable mention, Horrible Bosses 2. This was more disappointing than bad. It was still funny at times, but I didn't really laugh out loud once, and the story was interesting, and I was glad they took it to a different place than the first one. It wasn't a rehash, but it still kind of felt like a cash grab, and I don't know, I just walked out of it left feeling disappointed. And the last honourable mention is The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I didn't hate this movie as much the first time I saw it. I thought, that was okay, but the more I thought about it, the more I'm pissed off, because it's just a waste. Sony is fucking destroying my web slinger. I mean, Mark Webb is talented, Andrew Garfield is talented, Emma Stone is talented, Dane DeHaan is really good as the Green Goblin, but the movie was just bogged down with too many romance cliches, too many villains, and it just didn't know what it wanted to do. It was too all over the place, and they really should have just given Spider-Man back to Marvel a long time ago and avoided this bullshit. Would have gotten some nice money from Marvel, and, you know, wouldn't be a laughing stock anymore. Number 10 is Maleficent, starring Angelina Jolie, directed by Robert Stromberg, whom I have never heard of. But this movie was another one that just reeked of disappointment. I mean, I was really excited for it because I love Disney, and Maleficent is an awesome villain, and I was really looking forward to a dark take on her in a movie played by Angelina Jolie. But it was just, it was so watered down. It was seriously, they were too afraid to say the word die when they're like, she will prick her finger on a spinning wheel thingy and she will die. That's from the original. In this, it's just like she will fall asleep. Wow, how watered down is that? Disney, you should be pushing boundaries, not just sticking to the confines of a stupid Prince Charming movie. I mean, the spin at the end on love, I liked. Angelina Jolie was a saving grace as Maleficent. She was amazing in the role. She was really good. I hated Elle Fanning in this. I like her as an actress, but I hated her in this movie. She was just, her whole performance was this. That's pretty. That's so pretty. That's cool. And then sleeping. That was basically her whole performance. I don't know. This Shelto Copley was wasted as the king. He's an amazing actor, but he was just completely wasted in this. It was just watered down bullshit. It should have been dark. It should have been cool. Also, the 3 fairies. Oh, that was so fucking annoying. Jesus God, I just wanted to kill them. I was so glad when Maleficent threw them into a box. Number 9 is Sex Tape, starring Cameron Diaz and Jason Segel, directed by Jake Kasdan, who's directed a couple of good movies, Walk Hard, The Dewey Cox Story, and Bad Teacher, which a lot of people didn't like, but I liked Bad Teacher. I thought it was funny. But, whoa, Cameron Diaz has had a pretty horrific year. The Other Woman, this, Annie. Ugh. I didn't even watch Annie. I don't want to watch Annie. I'm not going to, so sorry you're not going to see Annie on this list, because I'm not even going to go near it. But, oh, what a year Cameron Diaz has had. I haven't seen The Other Woman either, by the way. See, I haven't seen a lot of the shittiest movies of the year, but Sex Tape was just really meh. Kind of comparing it to Maleficent, it was really watered down. It was nowhere near as raunchy as it sort of claimed to be. You know, it made us all think there were going to be certain nude scenes, and it made us think it was going to be a very, you know, risque movie. But really, no, it was just your average raunchy comedy, but it was weak. It wasn't very funny. It had a few moments where I laughed. Rob Lowe was really funny in a small cameo that he had. But look, the two didn't really, I didn't think they had a lot of chemistry in it. It felt like a big, really the movie just felt like a big advertisement for Apple. Like, seriously, at one part, he throws his iPod, because he's found out the sex tape got uploaded to the cloud, he throws his iPad out the window and says, "Oh, wow, it doesn't break." And he's like, "Wow, I can't believe how durable these things are." I mean, really? One, they're not even durable, and two, just blatant advertising. Bullshit. Number 8, Exodus: Gods and Kings, directed by the great Ridley Scott, starring Christian Bale, Joel Edgerton, and a lot of other people that I can't be bothered listing. But I did not like this movie. It was so boring. Ridley Scott hasn't really done anything that great in the last few years. Maybe he'll release a director's cut of this that's good, but just sitting through it in the theater, oh my god, it was so boring. Nothing happens. Christian Bale was good as the lead. Joel Edgerton I like, but I didn't think he was good as Ramses. What pissed me off is they cast a bunch of European white dudes to play Egyptians. Like, Joel Edgerton was sitting there fucking painted yellow, although the Egyptians were painted yellow too, but I don't know, it didn't feel right. A whole bunch of just white people playing Egyptians, it was pretty dumb. It's like wearing blackface. But anyway, I'm not going to get into the racial side of it. That's just one thing that took me out of the movie, because I didn't disappear into the characters the whole time. Like, yep, that's Christian Bale, yep, that's Joel Edgerton doing his thing. It's Aaron Paul was in it, but he didn't really get to do much, which is disappointing. But this movie was I literally fell asleep for about 5 minutes during this movie, and I missed what was apparently one of the good parts. But the plagues, they were really awesome. For about 20 minutes in the late second act there, the plagues, the locusts, the crocodiles, that was so good. It was like a horror movie. It was really well directed. It was amazing. And then it just dropped off into dullness again. The characters weren't interesting. It didn't feel that epic a scale of a movie, because the Egypt they lived in, it just looked small. There weren't that many different sets. It just looked small. It didn't feel epic. It didn't have that scale, and it was boring. I've mentioned that so many times, but oh my god, was this boring. I couldn't wait for it to end. Even the parting of the Red Sea, which I was looking forward to, it just sort of glosses over it. You don't even get to see it, really. Just complete disappointment. I mean, I know you might think I hate it because it's a Bible story, but no, I think it's interesting subject matter, but this movie just tackled it in the most conventional and boring way possible. Come on, Ridley Scott, you can do better. Number 7 is Into the Storm. Who doesn't love a good disaster movie? I love a disaster movie, and was this a disaster movie? This wasn't very disastrous, no. A lot of people comparing it to Twister, but this movie is nowhere near as cool as Twister. It is so boring. Again, just watered down, boring. The characters, I didn't give a shit about any of the characters. Matt Walsh, I liked his character. His character was kind of interesting. The rest of them, they were just expendables. They were nobodies. The main two kids who I'm supposed to care about and love their relationship, didn't care about it at all, seriously. I mean, it was just so lame and cheesy. They'd only known each other for like a day and they were in love and blah blah blah. The only characters you see die are the real expendables who don't talk. You don't really see that much wreckage and destroying. No one really dies. It's like all these PG-13 blockbusters. It's just so much destruction, but you don't see anyone die, which I wanted. Seriously, the only reason I went to this movie, I wanted to see a storm kill people. I wanted to see a storm wreck shit, destroy everything, and kill everyone. Which is, that's what it's about. That's what it's marketed as, some real entertaining disaster movie. But no, they made it more about the lame fucking characters, and it was boring. It could have been just some really fun, cheesy B-movie action, but they didn't even manage to do that. Also, the dude from iCarly is in it. It actually wasn't too bad, but honestly, apart from maybe one or two really cool shots, this movie was just so boring, and it's just wasted, really. It could have been a fun disaster movie, but they ruined it with lame cliches and blah 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 blah. And this pick is probably going to piss some people off, because this is a movie that most people at least liked. Not that many people hated it. Most people loved it. So this is probably going to cause a bit of controversy, but I absolutely hated Muppets Most Wanted. I loved the first Muppets movie from I'm not talking about the old ones. The old ones are awesome too. But I loved the 2011 Muppets movie with Jason Segel, Amy Adams. It was so good. I loved it. So I was really excited for this. I went into it so excited, and I watched it, and it did nothing for me. I felt nothing for the characters. All the songs just didn't click. It felt like a movie aimed at 6-year-olds, and the first one, I felt that everyone could enjoy it. Like, adults could enjoy it. It had that sort of humour, but kids could love it as well. I know little kids loved it. This one, it just felt like it was aimed at little kids. It felt like a cheap cash grab. The celebrity cameos were weak. They were just lame. They just played on people's names, which just, I don't know, it just felt really lame. Like, they had Christoph Waltz dancing the waltz. They had Usher playing an Usher. You know, just really cheap cameos like that. I didn't like any of the songs. I don't remember any of them. I just felt they were, I don't know, the singing wasn't good. What I think was missing from this one was Jason Segel, because I love Jason Segel. He's one of my favourite comedic actors, and from the first one, because I think he co-wrote the first one, I'm not 100% sure on that, but seriously, you can tell he really has a love for the Muppets, and he knew what he was doing, and he really did justice to them. But Jason Segel wasn't involved in this one, and I just felt it had no heart, no emotion. It didn't connect me to the characters. I mean, Gonzo was so wasted. He didn't get to do anything. I mean, Walter got basically the most screen time. I mean, he's the new guy. He got almost as much screen time as Kermit. I mean, yeah, fair enough. He was the main character of the first one. But now that he's an established Muppet, you should focus on the other Muppets so we can see them more. Tina Fey wasn't funny in it. Ricky Gervais, he wasn't funny in it. I can't remember the other actors. I was excited for a Tom Hiddleston cameo in it, but he was in it for maybe 5 seconds. But honestly, this movie just really, really disappointed me, and I know a lot of people disagree, but just the taste in my mouth it left me with after seeing it, I can't forgive it for that. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, heroes in a half shell, turtle power. Number 5, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Did anyone really think this was going to be any good? Produced by Michael Bay, directed by just one of his probably cronies, Jonathan Liebesman, starring Megan Fox and Will Arnett. Did anyone really, honestly think that this was going to be a good movie? Michael Bay might as well directed it, because it basically is a Michael Bay movie. It has lots of slow motion, lots of explosions and shit, lots of lame, racially questionable humour. Where do I begin? The Turtles, I liked them. They looked kind of stupid. They looked like freaking, I don't even know. But I didn't love their look, but their personalities, they had that right. They were like they were supposed to be in the original shows and everything. The Turtles were funny. They were likable. Couple of bit too many fart and shit jokes, but I'll let that slide because the Turtles were entertaining and I liked them. But you know what made me hate the movie? The people that took away from the Turtles' screen time, Megan Fox and Will Arnett. Why would you cast Megan Fox as April O'Neil? That is like the worst decision you could make. She has no acting range. She cannot act for shit, and she is just... Every time I look at her, I want to punch her in the face. She was so lame as April. I didn't feel the determination in her reporting and everything. It just felt like they wanted to cast Megan Fox because, I don't know, she's hot. Then Will Arnett, his character was a dickhead. I did not like him at all, even though you were supposed to like him. I don't like Will Arnett. I don't think he's a good actor. I think he's a bit of a douche in all his movies. Action was just, lackluster. There were a couple of cool scenes. The villain sucked. Shredder just looked like a transformer. What else? They ruined Splinter. Master Splinter looked fucking retarded. Seriously. Just watch the movie. It's just... I don't understand, and the ending in this movie was basically a direct copy of the Amazing Spider-Man 1 ending, which is just, I don't know, so much to hate in this movie, but the Turtles were a saving grace, so I can't be too harsh on it. But yeah, if you're looking for a good Ninja Turtles movie, this one is not it. Just watch the original cartoons. You know what I fucking hate? When you get me really, really excited for a movie and then just shit all over me. Thanks, Seth MacFarlane. Number 4 is A Million Ways to Die in the West. I loved Ted. I've seen it probably over 10 times. I have it on DVD. Sometimes I just throw it on when I go to bed because I love it. I think it's hilarious. Mark Wahlberg's funny in it. Mila Kunis is awesome in it. And Seth MacFarlane is great as Ted. I think he's a great voice actor, but he's not cut out for live action. And maybe he's not cut out for directing. Time will tell when Ted 2 comes out. I think it comes out this year. If Ted 2 sucks, then yeah, Ted was just a flash in the pan and Seth MacFarlane just should go back to animation. But I like him. I like Family Guy. I know most people like to hate it, but I don't know, I think it's fun. I think it's pretty funny. Some episodes are kind of stupid with all the cutaways and everything, but no, I like the show. I like American Dad as well. But anyway, on to the movie. I was really excited for this. A Western? Yeah, I love Westerns. Western comedy? Fuck yeah, Western comedies are awesome. Liam Neeson? Fuck yeah, Liam Neeson is amazing. I love Liam Neeson. It just amounted to nothing. It wasn't funny. I did not laugh once in this movie. The characters, I hated them. Seth MacFarlane's character, his whole character was just, a lot of people die in the West. I hate the West. I hate the 1800s on the Western frontier. Yeah, he says that about 4 times. He just says the exact location. It's like, yes, we know what the location is. Stop freaking giving us that stupid exposition. I mean, what person living in the West would be like, I hate the 1800s West? Like, no, you just say, I hate this place. His whole character is just complaining, and I know he's supposed to become a hero in the end, but it wasn't. I didn't feel it because his character is just a fucking sook. Liam Neeson sucked in it. I love Liam Neeson, but he sucked in it. He wasn't funny. He wasn't menacing. All the jokes involving his character just weren't funny. He wasn't intimidating. Charlize Theron, she was okay. I like her. Amanda Seyfried sucked. She was annoying. Neil Patrick Harris was in it. I loved that. I loved him in it. Neil Patrick Harris is amazing. He really can do no wrong. He was really funny as the owner of the local mustachery. But just the movie wasn't funny. It was so disappointing. It was so lowbrow. There were so many shit, piss, fart jokes. I don't know. Seth MacFarlane, don't be like... Fair enough if you want to have a cameo, but just don't be the main character because I don't think you're really a good enough actor. There was one cameo in this movie that is probably the best cameo, one of the best cameos I've ever seen in a movie. Now, I'm not going to spoil it for those of you who, for some reason, want to see it, but there is if you want to find out, look it up. There is a cameo in the middle of this movie that is just absolutely brilliant. There's another one at the end that's pretty good too, but yeah, when the cameos are the best part of a movie, you know you have a problem. I do not like Kevin Hart. I've never liked him. I've never watched his stand-up, to be fair, but every movie I've seen him, he's just the little annoying, high-pitched voice, fast-talking dude, and I don't find his act funny at all, and he's the same thing in this movie, the ride-along, or just ride-along, I don't know, whatever. This is number 3. I really like Ice Cube, too. He's in it. I love Ice Cube. He's just... in this movie, he just looks like he doesn't want to be there. His whole performance is just... nah, he wasn't a retard, but no, he seemed expressionless the whole time. Normally he'd be oh motherfucker, which would be funny, but in this he looks like he doesn't want to be there. Well, Kevin Hart looks like he wants to be there too much. He's too enthusiastic. This comes from the director of the 2 Fantastic Four movies, so that's saying something. But basically, Kevin Hart's character is a security guard who loves video games, blah blah blah, but his brother-in-law or whatever, I don't know, he's Ice Cube and he's a cop and he wants to prove that he's good enough to marry his sister, so he goes on a ride-along with Ice Cube's character and hilarity ensues. This movie is so boring. For a comedy, it doesn't really hold your attention. It's too long. Nothing interesting happens. Every single joke basically involves Kevin Hart being incompetent, but then of course at the end he has to step up and be a hero, which is basically what happens in every single fucking one of these movies. Kevin Hart is not funny. All the jokes come from him, but he is not funny. All the jokes are just revolve around him being weak and everything, and it's just no effort went into making this. This is the laziest movie ever. I resisted the urge to check my phone. I resisted the urge to just go and do something else, but I wish I did. I really regret watching this movie. Lawrence Fishburne was good in the about 5 minutes of screen time he had, but other than that, this movie has no redeeming qualities. I hope Kevin Hart can start to do some better movies, because this is just... if this is the best he has to offer, then... ooh, no. Now, this one is kind of cheating because nobody saw it, but I have to put this. It's one of these stupid parody movies, like epic movie, disaster movie, etc. And I know it's not like a real movie, no one saw it, I guess it's cheating, but oh well, I saw it and it's so bad. The Hungover Games. There have been 2 Hunger Games parody movies now. I haven't seen the other one. I think it's called The Starving Game or some shit, but this... oh, it's so bad. I actually laughed a lot during this movie, just at how bad it was. It's a mix between The Hangover and The Hungover Games. I'm not sure why anyone would put those 2 movies together. Oh, but it follows the main characters of The Hangover, and know what's funny? The characters' names are the names of the actors from The Hangover. So their names are like Zach, Bradley, and Ed. But know what I find hilarious? I guess no one thinks Justin Bartha is famous enough, because his character, they just call him Doug, they don't call him Justin. I don't know, but it's basically they get kidnapped and put into the Hunger Games for some reason, and then there's just a whole bunch of characters in the Hunger Games for some reason. Like, there are like 3 Johnny Depp characters, then there's like Django, and there's a gay Thor, and there's Katniss, but I don't know. But yeah, they changed their names just like a little bit, like Effie Tringet's name's like Effing White or something, played by the amazing Tara Reid. Katniss's name, like, I don't know, Katniss or some shit. I don't fucking know. I'm not gonna go ahead and look it up. But it's just it's so bad. I don't know why people keep making these movies, because it's not like they make money anymore. Back in the days of epic movie, yeah, they did. People love them, but I think no one really likes this type of comedy anymore, so I don't know why they make it. Oh, also Ted's in it somewhere, like a giant Ted. And also Doug goes missing in this, just like in The Hangover. Get it? It's funny, and you know, there's a lot of nudity, which you know, 12-year-olds enjoy. But yeah, I don't think anyone else saw this movie. But if you want to laugh, go watch it, because it is really hilariously bad. Number 1. Now, this one really should be obvious to anyone who knows me or watches my videos. God's not dead, he's surely alive, he's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead, he's surely alive, he's living on the inside. Woo! Now, I don't know what else I can say about this movie, because I made a half-an-hour long rant on it where I basically covered everything. So I'll put a link to that, probably in the description, maybe an annotation. So you can go ahead and watch that video if you want to know my full thoughts on this just abomination. But basically, it's about a kid who, for anyone who hasn't heard of it, it's about a college kid who has to take a philosophy class for some reason, and his professor is a big bad atheist. Oh no. And the professor, instead of teaching philosophy, which is like what most philosophy teachers would do, he goes straight into a rant that there is no God, and makes all the students sign a paper that says they agree there is no God. Now, I don't know what professor would do this, but I guess that's just what the big bad atheists are like, isn't it? So yeah, the kid can't sign it because he's a Christian, so they have to debate. And the kid has to prove the existence of God, and the movie's been marketed as like, you know, if your faith has been tested, watch this, we'll give you some arguments against the atheists and we will prove God is real. That doesn't happen, they don't prove God is real. He rehashes a bunch of overused arguments, and he doesn't make his own arguments, he just attacks the other guy's arguments and attacks his person, which is kind of wrong. And the atheist character, every single atheist in the movie is portrayed as a fuckhead. Like, every single one of them is a dickhead. Like, one of them's some arrogant businessman who, like, doesn't want to go to his family's funeral. He'd rather just do his businessman stuff. The professor, he's an asshole. He bullies the children and everything, and he's very mean to his wife, who's a poor Christian. there's some reporter who really abuses people, and the Duck Dynasty people are in this, and they're portrayed as the nicest folks ever. They're not homophobes or anything, no. Every single atheist in the movie is bad, and every single atheist in the movie eventually becomes a Christian in the end, except for that one businessman guy. He just rides away like, yeah. But basically, almost every atheist in the movie becomes a Christian in the end, including the professor, as he fucking dies. The priests see him dying, and instead of comforting and offering to contact his relatives, they try to convert him to Christianity, and he's like, yes. Oh god. This movie is so fucking stupid. It is so poorly directed. The score, the acting, it feels like a TV show, like a low-grade Lifetime channel TV show. It's, you should watch it, honestly. I mean, I watched it because I wanted to laugh at it, but it actually pissed me off a lot because a lot of people have actually seen it, and it actually made a reasonable amount of money because all the fucking fundies are going to see it. But, I don't know, watch it if you dare, see what you make of it, but I know that a lot of people have already argued with me and criticised me for hating it, but this is the worst movie that I've seen all year. Probably one of the worst movies I have ever seen. Not just because of the religious material, but because it is so poorly made. And that's about it. Thank you everyone for watching this video. I know that there are a lot of bad movies that I didn't see, like Annie, Hercules, I, Frankenstein, a lot of them. There are a lot of bad movies that I didn't see, but these are just my picks, and I would just like to say thank you for watching. Best movies will probably be out in about a month, because I'm going to at the end of the month I'm going to travel to Adelaide so that I can see Birdman, Foxcatcher and American Sniper, because Australia doesn't get them until late January, because fucking Australia, man, and I don't really want to download them because I'd love to see them in theatres. Anyway, that's it. Thank you everyone for watching. Have a lovely day.